we're going to discuss some inyanim that I'm learning right now. I'd like to give over in the laws of yichud. So we know that it is obviously forbidden for a person to seclude himself with the other gender. So there's a lady with a man, a man with a lady. So what exactly is the geder of yichud? So yichud means, yeah. What is the geder of yichud? Yichud means that the door, well, this is a whole discussion that we can get into, but what does it mean that the door is locked, or is it unlocked, or is it closed, and is a little bit, that's a whole discussion. But I'm going to speak more about another thing. So, this yichud, there's a question in the poskim if it's d'oraita or d'rabanan. Is it din d'oraisa or din d'rabanan? Which means that when a person goes and he secludes himself with farushka. You guys know farushka? Farushka is the Goyish nanny that she just came in from Ukraine on a cruise. She came in and you say, oh, Farushka, I need you to come be the nanny for my kids. Oh, okay, great. She comes in and your wife's not there and you want to seclude with Farushka. So the question is that the Raisa is a the Rabban? So yichud with Farushka, which since she's not a Jew, it is only a yichud and a Rabban. Okay? Comes the Sefer HaMinchas Chinuch, not the Sefer HaChinuch, the Minchas Chinuch. You guys know the Minchas Chinuch? The Minchas Chinuch, and he says, no, one second. If Farushka is married, even though she's not Jewish, it's yichud deraisa. Yichud deraisa. Now, this is a big chiddush because it doesn't say that anywhere in the Rishonim or anywhere else, but it makes sense what he's saying. And, okay, so the Minchas Chinuch says it. So if you have a yichud with a non-Jewish lady, that's a yichud deraisa. Now, that's case number one. Case number two would be if you have a yichud with a Jewish lady that is an erva, let's say a 20-year-old girl or whatever, that once she became nida, it's yichud deraisa. So then there's enough community for these things. There's a difference. If somebody's yichud deraisa, yichud derabanan, it makes a difference. Okay, now we said discussing yichud. Now, would yichud be something that's yarek val yavel? Would it be if a person's about to be in a yichud situation? They tell the guy, listen, either you do this yichud, or I'm gonna rifle. So what do you say? What do you guys say? You say it's a yichud is yarek val yavor, or it's yavor val yarek. You're saying you'll be okay. Yeah. So there was a great goyim, and he lived in the city of Brud, like Brud, yeah. In Brud, his name was Reb Shlomo Kluger. Reb Shlomo Kluger, his name is Shlomo. What's the word Shlomo? Shlomo in Gematria is 375. He wrote 375 Sfar. Kiminian his name, like the Gematria of his name. So Reb Shlomo Kluger, if you want to see a sefer on the parsha, they came out. It's like Sefer Bereshis is just like Bereshis, and then like Noach. That's like one chelik. Then the next chelik is like Lech Lecha. So yeah, he wrote an unbelievable amount of Sfarim. And someone told me, I don't know if it's true, it's on camera. I'm just going to say it over, I don't know if it's true or not, but someone told me that Reb Shlomo Kluger said that if he wrote down every chiddush that he ever thought of, then there would not be any more chidushim in the world left for anyone else to say. That's what I heard, B'Shem Reb Shlomo Kluger. And he was like an absolute astonishing good. So Reb Shlomo Kluger wrote a sefer, and one of the Sfarim he wrote, it's called Tuftan V'dat. So in Tuftan V'dat, he asked this question, is it yarek val yavor to have a yichud, situation of yichud? So Shlomo Kluger says it's yarek val yavor, and the person must not do yichud. Now you'll tell me, wait, that's intense. I agree, it's intense. It is. Okay, now this discussion is absolutely, it's a world war. If you look at the Achronim Sfar, they talk about it. There's a shalosh to the Shem Aryeh about it. Everyone wants this goes back and forth about it. Is it yarek val yavor? So there's a sefer, it's called Shira Halacha from Rabbi Felder in Lakewood, and he said he asked a question to Rabbi Yashiv. So to Rabbi Yashiv. He went to him. He asked him, "Is he Rabbi Yavor?" So Rabbi Yashiv basically said, "Don't get into it. Don't even like put yourself in the machlokes. It's a big situation. Don't even like." So you see that Rabbi Yashiv wasn't even like willing to take the responsibility to say that it's not Rabbi Yavor. Yeah, obviously, you know, if you ask most rabbis today, they'll just tell you, yeah, it's not Rabbi Yavor. If you look at Achronim, there's opinions that are lenient. I'm not saying either way, but I'm just saying you see that Rabbi Yashiv, he was not even willing to take responsibility to like give like a slicing psak that it is not Rabbi Yavor. So you see the importance of the halachas of yichud, and always have to remember that yichud is something that happens like randomly. Like it's not something like usually like you plan out. Like sometimes it'll just be like, oh wait, it might be yichud. Like someone just left the room or something. Someone left the house, whatever. You know, you have a possibility of yichud. So it's important to always go over the halachas. You know, they make nowadays like pamphlets and things like that. So always to go over these things because you can get into a situation of yichud and then you say, wait, where am I? Okay, that's part one. Now I'm going to throw some interesting questions at you that you might I want to hear your opinions on. Let's say in Eretz Yisrael, unfortunately, we know that they have these like missiles coming in all the time. I don't know about right now. It could be right now there's a ceasefire or something, but you know, all the time in Eretz Yisrael, in the past few years, there's been missiles and things coming out, and they have these alarms, sirens, people running into these bunkers. You know, one time there was a guy. He runs downstairs into the bunker, and he goes in, and who does he see? Perushka, no? No, Perushka's not there. It's someone else. He sees like some frum lady. He sees Mrs. Golden Schnitzelberger. So Mrs. Golden Schnitzelberger is sitting there, and he goes, oh no, what do I do? It's yichud. But then he hears, so it's a big issue. So what does he do in that situation? Is he allowed to go into the bunker with Mrs. Golden Schnitzelberger? Or is it a problem that he's now secluding together with her? What do the holy Jews in this room say?
Go for it.
Who'll be fine? You'll be fine if you don't go in. You're right. I agree. So yeah, if you don't go in, you'll be fine. You just if you say you leave the door open, you know, that's another option. You leave the door open. Leave the door, you know, like mamish open. People could come in. That's all the types of things. So someone wanted to bring a raya, a proof, from an interesting Gemara. The Gemara in Kedushin that Pe'alef says that there's a halacha that when taking a baby to a levaya, so the Gemara says that it's mutter b'shnei anashim, 2 men and 1 woman. That's the Rabbanon's opinion. The other opinion is Abba Shaul. Abba Shaul says no, it's even mutter with shnei nashim v'ish echad. So the Gemara says, one second, how's that possible? We know that if it's 2 women and 1 man, that's called yichud. That's like l'kulei alma. Everybody in the world agrees that if you have 2 women and 1 man, that's still called yichud. You say, wait, that's not yichud. Yichud usually means like 1 on 1. No, but if it's 2 women and 1 man, that's yichud. L'kulei alma. Now there's a machlokes between the Binas Adam and the Ma'asham if that's yichud deraisa or not. According to the Binas Adam, and this is how most poskim go, that if it's 2 women with 1 man, it's not yichud deraisa. It's only yichud derabban. Meaning it's not like the quintessential, what a word, quintessential yichud. Yeah? Quintessential yichud would be 1 on 1. So 1 on 2, that's not yichud deraisa, it's still yichud derabban. So that's a Mishnah. It's not even like not debatable. Okay? So the Mishnah says that if a person is taking out the katan to the levaya, so the Mishnah says that he's allowed to take with 2 people, can take 2 men and 1 woman. So that's the halacha, and the Shulchan Aruch and the Shinun Gimel pasuk like that. Okay, but then there's another opinion. The other opinion is Abba Shaul that holds that 2 women and 1 man are allowed to go together with the baby. Okay, so comes the Rambam, the Shulchan Aruch, the Tur, they all paskin like the opinion that no, it's only mutter with 2 men and 1 lady to go take the baby to the levaya, to the outskirts of town. The outskirts of town is also called yichud, yeah? The guy thinks the yichud is only like he's in like some type of like closet somewhere with like no AC. That's not the only place of yichud. You could have yichud like a guy like parked in the street on a dead end somewhere at 3 a.m. That's like a good old yichud situation. So that's the Gemara of the discussion between Abba Shaul and the Chachamim. So the Shulchan Aruch paskins like Chachamim that when a person takes a child to do for the Levaya, they need 2 men and 1 woman. Okay. Comes the Beis Yosef and he brings a sefer called Hagoyis Ashri. And the Hagoyis Ashri brings a sefer called the Or Zarua. Or Zarua, that's a thing. You guys know something? So the Or Zarua. So the Hagoyis Ashri brings the sefer, brings the Or Zarua, and he writes over there that if it's kroivim, if it's people that are related to the child, so then it's mutter to have 2 women and 1 man. So that's the Or Zarua. That's the Hagoyis Ashri quotes the Or Zarua. Comes the Darkei Moshe. Who's the Darkei Moshe? Rabbi Moses Israelis. Rabbi Moses Israelis of Krakow. You guys know who that is? The Ramah. The famous Ramah. The Ramah. Yeah, he was lifted very young. 32, 33 years old. He was lifted on Lag B'Omer, right? Okay. Anyways. So, the Ramah of there comes and writes in his gloss. The word gloss. He writes in his gloss over there. And he says, why is the Or Zarua matir if it's kroivim, if it's people that are related? He says, because it's an eis tzara. It's like a time of need. It's a time of sorrow, of sadness. So it's a time of sadness. So then it could be they were a little more makel on the yichud. Okay. So comes in some author of a sefer. Hashem give him good things in bracha and atzlacha, and he wants to say. You see from here that if it's an eis tzara, it's like a time of sorrow and need and desperation, then yichud is minimized, it's mitigated. So he wants to say, it's okay to go into the shelter. He wants to be making on the shelter. So then I said, 1 second, let's look it up. So I looked in the Achronim and I wanted to see what's the story with this Or Zarua. I found the Das Torah. The Marsham. You guys know the Marsham is? Shalom Mordechai Shvadavon. The grandfather of the famous of Shalom Shvadavon. The Marsham. He wrote a sefer called Das Torah. And in the Das Torah, what does he say? He says, let's open up the Or Zarua. So he opens up the Or Zarua, and the Or Zarua says the exact opposite of the way it's quoted in the Hagoyis Ashri. The Or Zarua says the exact opposite. He says that if it's 2 people, 2 men and 1 woman, it's only mutter b'kroivim. It's only mutter they're related. That means that he's not passing like Abba Shaul, he's passing like Rabbanan, which means if he's passing like Rabbanan, that means that if it's 2 women and 1 man, it's still usher. So the whole Beis Yosef that's quoting the Or Zarua is quoting an Or Zarua that I call a phantom Or Zarua. Because it doesn't exist. Because if you look at the Or Zarua, it doesn't say it. You know why the Beis Yosef made that mistake? Because he didn't have the Or Zarua. He had the Hagoyis Ashri quoting the Or Zarua. So therefore, not only do we not have a good source for this psak to be lenient on the bunker, but we also don't have an Or Zarua. So now we're stuck with an Or Zarua. And then you look at the Badi Shulchan, he makes the same ha'ara. If you look at the Badi Shulchan, Rabbi, 5 Kohen. You guys know Rav Kohen? Picture? It's actually nifter recently, 2-3 years ago. So he makes the same point out, the same. That's not the word point out. It makes the same discovery that the Or Zarua says not like that, and he says it's an issue. So therefore, you have this source that he wants to rely on, the source that he wants to build the whole thing on is this Or Zarua, and the Or Zarua doesn't exist. Okay, so then one of my chaverim, he said another ha'ara. He said, 1 second, what is he trying to rely on this sefer that wants to say that it's an eis tzara, that's what they're talking about? Anyways, by the way, he's still machmer himself, this sefer. He just was trying to make reasons to be makel. But he's saying, what's he trying to say? He's saying it's an eis tzara. That means that there's a siren. Everybody go crazy. Everyone be sad. No, it's not like a sad moment. It's just like a worrisome moment for a few minutes. For 2 minutes, they're worried. When the siren goes off, they're just okay, let's continue with our day. So once they say that, so then once they're in that room already, it's yichud and everything's back to normal. It's not like the sorrow of a person who's a eis tzara of the child of Shem Yerachim Bar Minan. These people, these people that they lost their child. So then they're in sorrow constantly. This is a missile. If the missile hits, it's sad. If it doesn't hit, okay, they move on with their day. So they're moving on with their day. So it's over. So therefore, it's not even a good zushtel. It's a good word. Zushtel. Yeah? Thank you. Appreciate the extra thumb there. So then, and you could have done one, you did two. So therefore, the poskim over there say, and it's Yisrael, and this is what's the Makubal, and I don't know if there's any raya to be made. So there's no reason to, there's no allowance, there's no permission to be lenient on Yichud in the situation of the bunker, of this thing. To end off, I'll tell you another Geshmaga one, is that there was actually this lady, she had a very contagious disease. She had a very contagious disease, and there was a man that he wanted to know if it would be mutter for him to do yichud with her, because what's he going to do? He's going to have it. He's going to be shamish with her. He's going to sleep with her, and then he's going to get this disease and he's going to die. So that's yichud. Like what kind of chashash is that? So he wanted to be lenient on the yichud over there. So he asked this question to Rabbi Isaac Zilberstein. You guys know Rabbi Isaac Zilberstein? Yeah, he's the son of Rabbi Yashin, brother of Rabbi Chaim. Zilberstein said, it is forbidden. So then I said, why? Why should it be forbidden? And you know what the reason he says this? He says a great reason. He says, because we know in the Torah, an ish, a woman who's married to someone else, she's not allowed to seclude, she's not allowed to have yichud with another man. If those two people do have tashmish, they take the guy and they kill him. So he's willing to do this aveira, even though it could cause him to be killed. So therefore, he says the same thing with the guy with the disease. The lady has a disease. Okay, so he'll sleep with her and he'll die from the disease. So he says the raya from there, his chayav misa, and it still is the issue yichud. So therefore, Zilberstein said it is awesome. Okay, Hashem give us all bracha and atzlacha, which we to not be nechshel any aveiros in the Torah.